Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Holly. Today I'm going to be planning the week of November 5th in my Erin Condren, and I actually going to be doing this spread as a memory plan with me, so I'm going back and kind of using this as a scrapbook basically. I've been enjoying doing that recently in my Erin Condren. Honestly, I like it better, doing it better with stickers than trying to do a regular scrapbook, because I'm never one that's going to like stay on top of printing out pictures or anything like that, so it's been a great use of the Erin Condren for me lately. So I am using this kit, which is a Scribble Prints Co exclusive art kit, and it was scandal themed, but I actually got this kit because I thought it'd be really fun to use on an election week. So election day was that Tuesday, so I'm gonna go ahead and back plan that week with this really fun scandal themed kit from Scribble Prints Co. Okay, so I'm getting started with the bottom washi. This was one of those kind of like faux divided washies that I feel like Andrea was doing a lot for a while. And so over the more basic print, like the one that was just kind of like a tan, I don't even know what you would describe that print as, I put the white with champagne bows bow washi from Simply Gilded, and I thought that looks so fun. In person you can actually kind of see the pattern of the tan strip, like it has like kind of, I don't know, texture to it. You could kind of see that poking through the bow washi, which I just thought kind of made it a fun effect here. So I'm just kind of trying to get that lined up. And the Scribble Prints Co like kind of double like this is, the width is almost pretty much perfect. It's like a little bit bigger than the width of a bow washi, but it's pretty good. And so then I'm going to get started with the sidebar and full boxes. So I did have this extra little freebie that you can see there that was kind of scandal themed. And since this was like such a memory plan with me that was like so long ago, I decided to use the giant Olivia Pope box in the left sidebar. And I just thought that was kind of, you know, just to take up some space, because honestly I didn't write down like my dinners or anything like that, so I figured I don't really need the space. And then I'm adding some more bow washi and the habit trackers that came with the kit. And when I do memory plan with me, I typically do things like, did you post on Instagram, did you hit 10K steps, that sort of thing, that are kind of like in line with my standard goals. And then I'm going to take a piece of washi, and I don't think I do it right away, but I will eventually layer over it a little kind of gold foil divider. And then everything was shifted up a little, so I'm going in with the whiteout to white out the dots so that I can put the quote box up there. And it ended up being a little taller because I had that really tall full box, but I still thought it looked nice. And then I grabbed a little flag from the kit to cover the Erin Condren flag, and also grabbed a little foil bow from Scribble Prints Co to layer over that flag, which I thought was really fun. I think I got that idea from SADIE Stickers, Alicia on Instagram. I think I saw her do that. And then I am gonna get started with my full boxes. Like I said at the beginning, I really wanted to use this kit this week just kind of for the patriotic vibes for election day. I do live outside DC, and like pretty much everyone that works in DC like is tangentially related to the government, even if like I don't directly work for the government or anything, but I have friends that do, and my whole kind of, you know, DC as a world kind of revolves around the government, so elections are pretty important here. Obviously I'm probably a little bit more in tune with them than people in the rest of the country, unless you're also very into politics. So I thought this was really fun. I kind of wanted to save this for a 2020 spread, since that election will be very important to me, but I was like, Holly, who even knows what if you'll be doing stickers in 2020, so we might as well use it now, and hopefully there'll be some other fun election themed spread before then. So I'm putting all these full boxes down. I did decide to use kind of the person full box stickers. Sometimes I don't use them, but like Olivia Pope is so freaking fierce, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use her face twice in my spread. Oh, and here's that little bow foil divider that I talked about over for the sidebar. That is from the Giving Girl, and I think just adds like a really cute little touch. And then I am going to go in with my overlays. I feel like Kitteness Jess would be so proud of me. I actually remembered to do it before I put my headers down, which is always a struggle for me. And I'm using first these ones from Rose Colored Days, and I think, by the way, these are, I'm trying to remember if these were gold or light gold. I think it's gold that I used, and which tends to look a little bit brassier, but I think right here the lights are so on it that you can't really tell that much. But these are like little kind of concentric boxes. I think she calls it the frames sheet from Rose Colored Days, and it has these little corners, which are really handy for just like this sort of box, which is differently sized and like a normal overlay wouldn't fit over. However, they were kind of a pain to work with because they're just so tiny and so thin, as you will see here. So in general, these frames were very tricky. So I like the idea of the frames a lot because I think you gotta get a lot more overlays on an individual sheet than you do with a normal overlay sheet like that one I'm showing you, where it basically you kind of like only get 4 on a sheet, but with the concentric style you get more. But I realized the challenge is that you have nothing in the center of the box to kind of stabilize it, so it's very hard to place things down correctly. So I did it pretty successfully on the quote box. You can see here I'm kind of struggling and being super delicate. Yeah, so I gave myself a thumbs up, but the next box I'm gonna do, I like totally botched. So it definitely is a little bit of a struggle, but I think it's a really neat idea, and it's a good way to like try out overlays if you find that, like, you know, $4 for a sheet is, oops, and then I ripped it, is a little bit too expensive. So here you can see I ripped it and I'm struggling, and then it started lifting some ink too when I tried to reposition it. Like, it's not as obvious on camera, but it was driving me nuts in real life. So I decided to layer a second box over it to try to kind of distract from the ink lifting, and then I ended up lifting more ink. So it was just like a whole struggle spill here, but I kind of did 2 little offset rectangles, and I thought that ultimately gave kind of like a cool effect, but yeah, I definitely messed it up. And then I wanted to use this bow overlay somewhere, and this is a traditional one, not like a framed one, so it's a little bit easier to line up. So I'm using that on election day itself for that full box. And then I think that was it for the overlay. So next I'm going through with the whiteout here because I did want to use all the glitter headers. So sometimes lately what I've been doing is lining up the headers with the top of the Erin Condren box. But here I decided I just wanted the glitter headers to sit on top of the full boxes. I don't know if that, it probably doesn't make sense verbally, but it's, you can see it a little bit better. And so this is kind of like the way that I think a lot of people like J.Crew, people that like use glitter headers pretty consistently, I think this is the way that they do it. But because you go up a little bit higher, you end up kind of running into the dates unless you shift down into the bottom washi. So I whited out the dates, and then I'll just use the date covers anyway. So here I am layering the glitter headers on top of those full boxes. And I used that kind of like neutrally tan color and then a red glitter header, and I'm going to use a navy one as well, just for a little bit of a red, white, and blue effect. So going to go ahead and lay those down. And FYI, I think this will be my last super old memory plan with me for a while. I did a couple weeks after this week. I just did off camera, so I'll just share those on Instagram. I'm Hollyplans if you want to see those spreads. And then I finally will jump ahead to like the last week of November, the first week of December. Hopefully that'll be up like end of this week or next week, and we'll be largely caught up because it's been driving me insane to like be posting fall spreads on Instagram, because I try to like post them when I post the, you know, when I post the video, but like in December I'm like, Holly, you're so not thematic. But oh well, just kind of got a little bit behind, and then, you know, I wanted to keep filming, so I just had to like abandon some of the memory spreads. They had to be done off camera in order to make an attempt to get caught up here. So I have these glitter headers down, just straighten them out, and then I am going to go in with some overlays as well. Oh wait, I'm not all done. I have to do these navy ones. I feel like I should have more to talk about in this intro part. I don't know if I have, I didn't think to collect any questions to answer, but I can, you know, I don't really want to talk about politics because that never ends well for me. So we'll just continue to fill some space here. So first up, I am using, these are really pretty overlays from SADIE Stickers. And they are these really cute transparent bow headers. So she has really nice bow headers in her shop in general. And then she added these like transparent ones on a $2 Tuesday, and they're so cool. And then for the like lighter colored glitter header, I'm using kind of, they're almost like Starburst style headers from Simply Watercolor Co. It's from one of her sampler sheets, and I thought it kind of gave it almost like a fireworksy effect. I don't know, it felt kind of patriotic to me. And it also, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention,
this weekend was also Veterans Day weekend, so it really worked out. Veterans Day was like on the Sunday, and my stepdad is a Vietnam vet, and so he did come to DC. They had been planning on going to the memorial. I don't think they actually ever made it. They were gonna go on the way home, but then I don't even know. But anyways, but yeah, so that was another nice reason to do this sort of spread that week. And then I'm just taking some little corner overlays from the Simply Watercolor Co. sampler sheet and putting that on the Olivia Pope box. And then I'm just finishing out these bow ones, which I think are just so pretty. I love these. I don't know if they're permanent in the Sadie sticker shop, but they're so cute. She has I think she has like one of the best bow shapes. I think it's really, really cute. So anyways, now I am jumping ahead to the date covers, and these are the date covers from the kit. It's obviously, oh, by the way, there was the extra full box there, the Olivia Pope and Associates, but I just didn't want to use it because I was like, this isn't a scandal themed week, even though like the quote box says, what would Olivia Pope do? And the numbers I'm using here are transparent date numbers from Rose Colored Days, and just going ahead and putting those in. And then I am slightly raising. I don't like the date cover to be right against the glitter header, so the 2018 was getting cut off by a date cover. So I had to cover that with whiteout, and then the November, the R was getting slightly cut off, so I just kind of extended it with my pen. I think I've seen other people do that before, and it, you know, worked, so it looks a little bit less janky. And then just laying down the rest of these date covers here. Oh, and I didn't do this at the end of the video, I ended up doing it off camera, but I went through with some like sparkle flare at the top from Simply Watercolor Co., her like foiled stars. And so if you want to see what those look like, take a look on Instagram, because I think it added like a really fun kind of like extra sparkle to the top that made me really happy. And then on Monday, I went to yoga in the morning. So I used my little yoga munchkin and a gym day script from the yoga munchkins from Once More with Love, of course, and then the script is from Simply Watercolor Co. And then it was my mom's birthday, so I gave her a call that day, so I'm taking a little phone munchkin to mark down, although that munchkin has like a really old rotary phone, which is very cute. And then honestly, I didn't really write in that much, like back planning. Like I try to take notes contemporaneously so that I remember everything, but I just like really didn't write in very much. So I like that night, I know I was like really lazy and just did like basically couch time and like looking at my phone. So I used that cute little Coffee Monsters Co. kind of lazy phone staring emoji on top of a flag. But then just to fill in some space, I'm adding in a quote here from Scandal, because from the Scandal sampler rather, because I just wanted to fill in some space, and that was, I thought, kind of cute deco. So adding that in over top of some washi that came with the kit, and I think that looks kind of fun. And then on to Tuesday, it was election day, and I happened to have a dentist appointment that day, which actually worked well because then I worked from home and I could go vote in the middle of the day when the lines were really short, which was nice. But first up, I got up early to work out at home, so I took a quarter box from the kit to mark that down. Then I'm taking a kettlebell from Tasseled Planner, as well as another script from Simply Watercolor Co. I'm going to add in a second, or maybe I'll go back and add it. But then, yes, I did end up working from home that day, so I'm taking a little laptop emoji to mark that down. And then I had the dentist, so I'm taking an appointment label from the Scribble Prints Co. kit, as well as I have a really funny little dentist emoji, and it's like, how often can you use those? Like twice or three times a year. So I am taking the funny little like grimacing dentist emoji because that cracked me up. Dentist actually went well for once. I got told to just continue what I'm doing, which is great news. And then to mark down voting, I used this vote sticker from Vote Sampler by Virgo and Paper, as well as a flag that I think was deco in the kit. And then that night, honestly, I just like ended up watching election results. I was like glued to the TV, so I thought that little munchkin that is like staring at the TV in very patriotic colors was very appropriate. I also did do some like phone banking that night to like do some final GOTV, get out the vote type of stuff, but I forgot to mark that in, but just as a heads up. And then on Wednesday, I was back into the office, so I did a Starbucks run in the morning, and that little coffee cup sticker is from a tasseled is it tasseled planner? Tasseled paper? Tasseled planner sampler sheet. And then I am kind of writing in as I go because I hate trying to write against the coil. So I wrote in on the label that at lunch, my office is like 2 blocks away from a Sephora. So I popped over to Sephora to check out a couple of kind of colors of things before it was the Sephora sale that weekend. So I just did a little scouting. And so I took a little Coffee Monsters Sephora emoji. And then I worked on writing my 4 Good Things newsletter. If you haven't signed up yet, I have just like a lifestyle newsletter. It's pretty quick. You know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's a good length because it's not too long. So if you're interested, there is a link below. And then my husband and I did go to dinner. It was kind of like a casual dinner at Cava Meze, which is just good. And then I kind of had like a YouTube binge at night and just kind of like, you know, watched YouTube. So I used a little munchkin for that. And then unfortunately, Sarita got sick that night. She ate, oh my God, guys, Sarita ate like 100 pieces of a puzzle. It was absolutely insane. We didn't even realize what had happened because the puzzle was like in our basement. But like I got home and Dan was like, you're not gonna believe what happened. And Sarita had like puked up like a ton of puzzle pieces, guys. I mean, luckily she was fine. We like called the vet, like she puked them and then she also passed them out the other end. So things were moving fine. So she basically got to have some white bread to try to absorb the stuff in her stomach, which was like the most exciting thing ever if you're Sarita. But guys, she ate like an entire corner of a 1,000-piece puzzle. It was horrible. My poor puzzle. So anyways, that was a big event on Wednesday as well. So then on to Thursday, I had put down a munchkin in another gym day script from Simply WATERCOLOR Co. because I back up at the crack of dawn for early yoga. And then after that, I had a work retreat kind of starting Thursday night and then all day Friday. So I had to drive there. And I marked that out with a little Coffee Monsters Co. in a car, a little emoji in a car on a label, and then explored the island kind of. It was on an island in Maryland, so pretty local, and kind of did some exploration, like team building type stuff that afternoon. So I'm marking that down with a little thing in a mini icon, which was like a camera, just because, you know, I took some pictures. And then we had a work dinner that night. So I am marking that out with a half box. And I'm going to grab the wine sticker that was actually on the deco sheet, which you'll see in a second. And then since I was traveling for work, I like had a nice hotel room and there was a bathtub, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a bath. So I initially marked that down with that tasseled planner sticker, but I didn't like the way it was facing. I don't know, just kind of like me being picky. So I'm gonna end up switching that out and using an emoji for that instead. And then, like I said, for the dinner, I ended up adding the wine deco, which I thought was really funny because it's also very appropriate to have wine deco for an Olivia Pope kit. And so, yeah, I added that little bath night and face mask on Thursday night. And then Friday, it was really like an all-day meeting. It went till kind of mid-afternoon and started really early. So I took a half box there just to kind of section out a big chunk of time. And I'm going to grab a larger emoji to sit on top of that. And then after that, I drove back, but of course it was like peak rush hour on a Friday, which sucked. So I sat in traffic for a while. So I'm just gonna kind of mark that out on a flag here and then a car sticker from the kit itself. And then that night, my mom and stepdad were arriving, like I mentioned. So I just kind of marked down that they arrived with a icon and like a little heart from a Nikki Plan sampler. I'm not sure that I'm going to do all of this on camera. I might have changed this up afterwards. We shall see. And then that night we went out for dinner at a pizza place as well. So I'm just kind of getting organized here. Apparently I have like 87 stickers on my hand. So here I am taking the little half box for dinner, and then yeah, I am taking a little house icon layered with that heart sticker, which is foiled, and that is drawn by Nikki Plans, and then Rose Color Days puts it out. And then for dinner I'm taking a tasseled planner little kind of food plate, fork, and knife icon. I'm trying to think of how to call that, to mark down dinner, although I am going to switch that out in a minute. And then back on Saturday morning, my parents were obviously still here. So first up, I'm putting in a quarter box to mark down our lunch. We went to Panera, not very exciting, but you know, it's good. And then first up though, we looked at little kitchen remodels, and I'm sorry that's slightly off camera. You'll see it in a second, but I took a flag and then a munchkin layered over it. We were debating whether we want to remodel our kitchen. It really depends on how long we're gonna stay in this house. So it was just helpful to go with my mom and stepdad, who have a little bit more info about these sort of things, and get their perspective on that. And then that afternoon, my mom and I went shopping at a local, like basically the shopping center that's near here. So I'm taking the little shopping emoji that comes on the sampler for the kit with that. And then we went out to dinner that night as well. And then we just kind of like hung out at home. So I marked that down with a heart little thing. And for the dinner, I'm actually going to use some undo to pop up the tasseled planner sticker from Friday, and instead use a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji on Friday that is for pizza, because we like ate pizza on Friday night and then Saturday night was a little bit nicer. So I just thought, like, just to basically have something different on each day, I just wanted to have different stickers on both days. So I am going to put that Coffee Monsters Co. emoji down there and make him less crooked first for the pizza night, and then I'm going to actually go back and grab that tassel planner sticker for the Saturday night dinner out. And that was, like, honestly pretty much their trip. So they leave on Sunday, so we'll get there in a second. I'm doing it off camera, apologies. So first thing I put in was the fact that my mom and I that morning took some time to plant tulips, which was fun, and hopefully they come up in the spring. It's our first year doing it. And so I took a little Coffee Monsters Co. watering emoji for that. And then we said goodbye to them and they headed out. And so took a little house sticker just to kind of mark them leaving. And then Dan and I went to get groceries, and then I did some, and then I went to Sweetgreen for lunch. So I'm taking that little thing to mark Sweetgreen down. And then the little grocery cart there is from Tasseled Planner once again. I thought that light blue color that she uses on a lot of her sheets went really well with this kit. And that is foiled. I don't know that you can tell, to mark down going to get groceries. And then I came home and the Bills were on and I watched them. I forget if they won or not. It was a while ago. Overall, not like a great season for the Bills. Haven't really been enjoying being a fan, but you know, punishment. I'm punishing myself by watching, apparently. So I marked that down, and I did some planning and filming. So I took that planning time sticker from a paper blush bar sheet, and then like that night I just did a lot of life chores like meal prep and laundry and all that stuff. So I'm gonna put that in. I think I also worked a little bit on YouTube or edited, but I decided I couldn't squeeze that in. So instead I'm going to take a piece of plain washi from the kit, add just a really cute little foiled laundry basket that is also from that Tasseled Planner sampler. And that is pretty much it for this spread. Like I said, I'll post the final thing on Instagram so you can see the little touches I added, but here is what's left from this kit. It was a big kit, so lots of leftovers to pass on to somebody. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and bearing with me while I finish all these spreads. Bye!